In this video, I'm going to show quite a few different things. We're going to do a Unity VR project, and we're going to use Mixed Reality Toolkit and a few different things to actually get it all deployed and run or somehow previewed on a Quest. Okay, so these are some of the things we're going to do. We're going to start a new 3D project with the 3D template. So I'm going to go into the hub. I'm going to do a 3D project that I'm just going to put here my Mixed Reality Toolkit project. And I'm going to create that. While that is creating, that takes a little bit, I'm going to tell you more about what we're going to do. So we use the 3D template. We're going to get the XR plugin management set up in there. We're going to set up the Oculus XR plugin, configure the XR plugin management with Oculus for both the desktop and which I'm currently using here, and also for Android, because in order to really deploy to a Quest, you need to basically build an Android application in Unity. And we're also going to get the Oculus integration package and the MRTK Foundation package. So I'm going to set all these things up. This is all my project stuff, so I'm going to go through these step by step. So right now, we're going to get the 3D template. So that project is now set up. It is open. And I just have to find the right Unity window, and here it is. When you open a new project, it's probably gonna look like this, but for the purposes of this recording, because I have to use quite a few different windows and panels, and they would just be floating around on my secondary screen here, and they wouldn't be nicely recorded for you, I'm just gonna use this layout that I have created, where I have build settings, project settings, the package manager. These are all kinds of things that we actually have to work with. So we have a 3D sample scene in here. There's nothing in here. What I want to accomplish is I want to actually have a cube in my project. That cube should be maybe kind of like eye level-ish. And we're going to style it a little bit differently. So, and I want to be able to move that cube around. And so we're going to do interactions as well. But that's relatively straightforward with MRTK. So, well, let's get things started. So we will go into edit project settings. It would bring this probably up as a floating window somewhere for you. For me, it's here. I go to XR plugin management. I install the XR plugin management. While that is installing and doing quite a few things, I'm just going to update you. We are currently doing this step because we already have our 3D project and we have a cube in there. So we're going to work on this. So it installed the XR plugin management, and then on desktop, which is currently what I'm using right now, I want to be able to have an Oculus emulation. And I also want to be able to deploy to an Oculus Rift S. And one way to do this is I could connect my Oculus Rift S, which I actually have right now. But I could also connect an Oculus Quest and do this thing here. So connect the Quest with USB cable and enable Oculus Link. So that's what I'm going to do. There's also the Air Link option, but I actually haven't explored this, so I'm not going to cover that in this video. What I'm also going to do is get the Android support, and also here, Oculus. Okay, so we have accomplished XR plugin management. Oculus XR plugin is kind of like configured. We now move on. We're going to get the Oculus integration package. So for that, I would go to Window, Package Manager. You can already see it here on the right. It's here. And these are the things that I have so far in my project. The XR plugin management, we have enabled that. We have the Oculus XR plugin. I'm going to go to the Unity registry, and I'm going to get the Oculus integration package. How did I find that? I think I found that through my assets. So I went to a website to actually, these are all the assets that are connected with my labs account. So I have quite a few students doing a few different projects in here. So we're going to find the Oculus integration. So that was somewhere on the Oculus store. So we can actually click this link, and I could give you this link, but basically this is, you go through this to this page. You got the Oculus integration, you open it in Unity, which opens it in the Unity editor, which actually takes you right to where we just came from. And I'm not gonna import this into my project. So, gonna wait a little bit. We are currently waiting on this stuff to be done, and as a reminder, I'm gonna just close this page here and go back. I'm already working on the slides for next week. Go back to this one here. Oculus integration package is what we're currently doing. Okay. So after it has looked through the package that we're going to explore, it's going to suggest that we wanted to import. It's going to suggest, okay, these are all the things. Do you want to import them? And you just like have everything selected, and you just press import. It's going to take a while to get all this into your project. So what does the Oculus integration do? So it describes it here. We cannot click it right now. The Oculus integration brings advanced rendering, social, platform, audio, and avatars development support for Oculus VR devices. And that is the Quest as well. I wonder whether they're going to rename everything now that Oculus as a label is no more. But right now, at the time of this recording, everything is still labeled and called Oculus. And it's not a bad word. All right. Yeah, we're just waiting on stuff, and it might actually take longer on your computer. So this is not the fastest computer in the world, but it is not a bad computer. And even on this computer, it takes a little bit. So working on a laptop is gonna be tough. So I'm using a desktop computer here. And so, yeah, we're already 7 minutes in the video, and not too much has happened, but I thought I'll record it in real time, going through all the steps, clicking all the right things, hopefully, and then you can repeat this. And to be honest, be completely honest, before I actually recorded this video, I spent today I would say 5 hours exploring all the different ways in which we could get you to deploy your projects and preview them and run them on the Quest. And I've decided that this is the best way that I'm going to present here. So it's going to ask you, detected that a newer OVR plugin is available. You just say yes. For that one, because I do want to have the hand tracking, I do not want to switch to OpenXR just yet, because it says OpenXR is now fully supported by Oculus. However, some of the functionalities are not supported in the baseline OpenXR spec, which would be provided in our future releases. So right now they don't have support for advanced hand tracking features and mixed reality capture on the Rift. And new features such as pass-through are only supported through the OpenXR backend. So it's interesting. Do I want advanced hand tracking? Or do I want pass-through? To be honest, in my previous attempts when I practiced for this video, I always said cancel. But and I'm gonna say cancel now, and maybe in a future video we could do use OpenXR. I'm just gonna press cancel because it's what I used to do, and I can actually switch that as well. Later, and then it says restart, but before it restarts, it actually realized that the spatializer plugin also needs to be upgraded, and then it asks you to restart. So it's gonna actually restart Unity after this, and it's gonna take a little bit, but there we go. So to be honest, nothing has changed in the project, but we have an Oculus menu now. But we're not going to do anything in that Oculus menu, because the next thing that we're going to do is get MRTK, so Mixed Reality Toolkit, and the Foundation package. And so I've already downloaded this here. I have downloaded MRTK-273. From their GitHub, I've downloaded all their 5 Unity packages, and I'm just gonna take the foundation one. So this says I cannot I cannot do this while as soon as I leave the icon, this will disappear. But it says foundation. You can see this a little bit further to the right. Anyway, I'm gonna drag and drop this into my Unity project. It should be on the project one, and I'm just gonna go into packages, and I'm just gonna drag and drop it in here. So I'm gonna take this, drag and drop it into my packages. At least that's how I always do it. It would also be a file import and whatnot. You could do that too. Anyway, analyzing the package that we're gonna get in there, and it's gonna show to us all the things we are going to import. And you're starting to feel like, what the hell? This is crazy. It's taking forever. Well, that's why I'm recording this video. So yeah. And there were a few things I didn't show, which is like getting your Oculus Quest really connected with a USB cable and enter debug and mode and developer mode. And the devices that you get from the university, they should have that. So that's why I'm not showing that here. And anyway, so we're downloading. Actually not downloading, we're importing into our project. So it's already downloaded. Okay, we're gonna just wait a bit. Busy for 40 seconds, 45 seconds. These are very long seconds. Yeah, so during my, when I practiced before, I think I made a few coffees. And well, that is certainly not recommended. That's one way to spend the time that you're waiting. All right, so still busy. So why are we using Mixed Reality Toolkit? Well, we are using Mixed Reality Toolkit because it really supports quite a few different things. It's really cool for us. So it comes with this menu here. It's gonna say, welcome to MRTK, non-open XR SDK with built-in plugin, non-open XR in use. So we're gonna go next. Sets default spatial awareness layer. That is fine. We're gonna apply that. Project configuration confirmed. Want to save a new input system. Okay. And we're gonna get the Text Mesh Pro stuff. And then it's happy. Okay. So we have a mixed reality menu now. We have an Oculus menu as before. So we have these two menus now. That's a success. And I'm going to go to Toolkit, Utilities, and configure this project for MRTK, which we just did. So that if you didn't see this dialog pop up, this is the way to bring it back. And then I'm going to actually add MRTK to my scene and configure it. And so I have Mixed Reality Toolkit here. I'm going to open the inspector now. So Mixed Reality Toolkit is here. And yeah, I think everything should be fine. You don't have to change anything here, but you could. Anyway, so this is all cool. And I'm not going to be happy with how it's going to look. I would like to change the boundary and all that, but I'm just going to leave it the way it is. So, and then I'm going to do Mixed Reality Toolkit, Utilities, Oculus, integrate Oculus integration Unity modules. Yeah, quite a mouthful. So you do that, and well, there is no kind of feedback. Well, there is some feedback now, coming now, and I guess it was a success. It didn't complain. I'm not sure what's the best way to show you to confirm that this actually worked, but let us open the, I'll show you the slide. I think I've done all this now. I pressed press integrate, I got the integration package, and I pressed connected MRTK to my scene and all that. So I'm going to show you the first, ta-da, this is green now. We're going to show you the first way, which is actually the hardest, to really get it to deploy to my Quest. So we're going to go to File, Build, Settings, which opens this menu probably floating somewhere around on your computer. And so right now, the way we have it is we just don't build. So we just like run on a PC, okay? So what I'm going to show now is I'm going to go into the game view, and actually I should do something to my cube. Maybe with MRTK, let's do that first. So we're going to go over some of the build settings, but the first thing I'm going to show you is actually not building it and just running it here in the computer. So I'm going to activate one thing, which is, this is called maximize on play, which is like as I play the project. This is not deploying it. It's just simulating. Seeing this menu here, maximize on play didn't work. Hang on 1 second. Let me see the inspector. Make this window. Okay, it was activated before, and I deactivated it accidentally. So play should go into kind of like full screen. When you see this, which the thing that you can't read, and the reason we can't read it is because of the scale here. Let me go to full HD maybe. Okay, now I can read it. This is good. This shows me that MRTK is there, and I can actually well, where's my cube? I thought I had a cube in the scene. Did I not place a cube in the scene? Let me see where the cube is. So the cube is let's go to the scene view. The cube is here at 1.2 height, and then the playscape, which contains our camera, is at 0. So we're gonna put the cube roughly in front of the camera. So putting it a little bit forward, the Z a little bit forward. So now this should be roughly in front of the user. In the game view, I'm gonna play this one more time. There should now be this cube. Ta-da! It's our cube. I'm gonna do two things with this cube. Maybe we should put the content in this mixed reality scene content in here so that it looks a little bit more organized. So I'm gonna do two things with this cube. I'm gonna change the materials into an MRTK material, and I'm gonna use MRTK underscore, I think, not dash. And I want to use standard transparent blue. Actually, we're going to do standard, not standard red, but standard transparent red. Because I want to be able to see my hands as I intersect with this cube. And then I'm going to add, this is just like some MRTK stuff that I'm going to do. I'm going to add one component, which is the manipulation, object manipulator. And so the object manipulator gives me far interaction per default, it says, and that's what I want to have. Okay, cool. So I'm going to show you now without actually running it on the Quest. I'm going to play this one more time. Here is now our object, and I can already interact with it, but I'm going to do this in an interesting way. I'm going to press my shift key, and I hope it's the same for you. I'm going to go a little bit backwards. So so locomotion is a bit difficult to simulate. But here's my hand, and I'm dragging this cube now, and it supports these kinds of things. If I had two hands, which I'm not sure how to emulate, I would need to look it up. Oops, that is, we didn't want that, but okay, fine. We'll just stop it, and we'll just, oh, we have another console. Wow, we don't need two. And then we can just close this tab. Okay, so I'm not sure where I got this from. Was an accident. Right, so let's deploy. Woohoo! We're gonna go to build settings. I have everything prepared, so I'm gonna click Android here. It's fetching my connected devices. My Oculus Quest right now is already there, connected and waiting, and that was a little bit of a struggle to get this to appear here. But essentially, I had to be in developer mode on my Facebook account. And you should be with the devices that you're getting from the library, and all I'm going to do now is switch platform. So, well, and I said all I'm going to do now. Yeah, so we're 20 minutes in, and we have so far been able to, well, just play our mixed reality toolkit scene. And now comes the hard part, actually deploying it. And I'm going to show you two ways to deploy it as a reminder. We're going to do Quest plus USB cable. And then we're going to do Quest USB cable and enable Oculus Link to turn it into a Rift S. And I'm going to press the play button again as before, but when I then press the play button, it actually renders it on the headset. which is amazing. And I should probably have done this as the last option because this is clearly the hard one. But we're gonna do this. So Unity is currently busy importing stuff, and I cannot bring back Unity, the actual Unity screen. Yes. So yeah, what is it currently doing? What did we say? Oh, we're changing platform at the moment, right? So we're gonna change so that we can actually deploy on Android. And yeah, there are a few links I can share with you so that you can find a more textual description of some of the things I'm doing here. But if you are following what I'm doing right now and maybe skipping back if you missed it the second I pressed the button, this should hopefully work for you, and you can really follow the same process. I'm using Windows here. Should have said it as a warning. So Mac OS is obviously, yeah, a little bit different, isn't it? All right, so still importing. Really taking a long time. And I cannot show you anything else interesting because, yeah, as I said, Unity doesn't want to show up as I'm kind of like working through this. I will stream from the Quest in a second. I'm going to use a software called SideQuest. It's already connected to my Quest. You can see that here. But I won't start streaming just yet because, well, actually we haven't even started building. But I had problems before when I was streaming and actually trying to deploy at the same time. So we're still busy importing into our, well, not importing, I'm not sure. We're just getting everything ready so that we can deploy this project on a Quest. And a Quest is essentially using Android. And so maybe this will be a 30-minute video. And you're going to see that, wow, it took Michael 30 minutes to get this onto the Quest. And show me all these different ways of running this mixed reality toolkit project, which all you can do is move a cube around. I'm just going to use A-frame. Yeah, and you wouldn't be wrong. But let's say you do a really cool project in Unity, you can really do a lot of stuff with Unity and Quest. And yeah, I think you're going to thank me later. That's what Monk used to say. All right, so still waiting. And running out of jokes. Also, I think I've spent too much time with Unity today. I'm already at the point again where I don't like it anymore. And if you think this is taking a long time, wait for Unreal Engine. Yeah. I actually haven't finished the deploying through Unreal Engine. I'm not even sure you're going to do this. Anyway, we are going to get our Unity project back. So it's just going to say, it's going to now prepare the project a little bit differently. So maybe we should go through this. So project settings, disable multi-threaded rendering, set a minimum API level. So it's really making sure that all the build settings are correct. And we're going to say next here, and it's happy. Woohoo! Okay, we have now successfully switched to Android. You can see the Unity logo here. If you have multiple scenes in a project, make sure that you have the one that you want to deploy open and it's here and it's selected. And I'm not going to cover dealing with multiple scenes, etc. We're just going to get this hopefully onto our device. So we're going to do this. I'm going to create a new folder in my project and I'm going to call that builds. And I'm just going to call it first because maybe I'll have multiple versions and then I get something running in this one and then I break it later, but I need to record my assignment. And so I still have the old build that I could just redeploy through SideQuest. Which I just showed you a second ago. Anyway, we're gonna build, and this is really exciting. So building, and we're gonna build and run. So when this is done, it's actually going to launch on my Quest. So I'm just going to put the Quest on, just make sure the Quest is ready. Okay, here it complains now. I've spent too much time outside the known area is what it's complaining. And double tap decide to turn off pass through. And yeah. Actually, my Quest doesn't look too promising at the moment, so I think it was a little bit in trouble. Hand tracking controllers disabled, move. Okay, I'm gonna... Right, I have an old project running here. And I'm trying to wake up my Quest. It was waiting too long. We have still a little bit of time before this is... If I don't get it to wake up in time, it's gonna fail with the build and the deploy, so the running part. And wow, I just saw a screen I've never seen before on the Quest. This may fail, and I'm sorry. Was talking too long. Okay, Quest is coming back, hopefully. I have to create the Guardian, which I'm just going to confirm. And we're going to switch to stationary. And cool, we're just going to stay here. And alright, this should hopefully then work. Let's hope that Unity is now going to start to try to really run it on the Quest. And we're 27 minutes in. Computer was just flying to the moon. You probably heard that on the microphone, hopefully. And we're gonna build. This is so exciting. It may still fail because my Quest is currently doing something weird, but maybe it's just gonna like force reload the app on the Quest. And so this is the last thing it's gonna say: building Gradle project, and it's been doing this for 3 minutes now. It's been working really hard. Okie dokie, come on. You can do it. It's really not much happening in that scene. It's just mostly has to do with like, oh, copying APK. Please, please, please work. Deploying player. It's launching. It's launching here. I'm gonna go into side quest. I'm so happy this actually worked. Starting the stream. Bringing the stream up in 1 second. It's probably just gonna be there and you're not gonna believe me. But it is here. Our project on the Quest. Amazing. Okay, so I'm gonna get a controller. There we go. I have two, but I'm just gonna activate one. It looks like the other one, I didn't actually park it in midair. It's just like this is where it thinks it is. So we're gonna get the other one so you believe me that the tracking all works. Okay, cool. So 2 controllers. We can drag this thing. Woohoo! And we can increase the scale and things like that. And I don't have teleportation at the moment, so that's something we could configure as well. Surprised it's not working at the moment. I thought I had that configured, but okay, fine. And so that's what I want to show you. And so here we have that. And now, while I am in Quest, I'm gonna activate. I'm gonna go out of my app here. So press Oculus, press quit. Yeah, right. One thing to notice is the apps that I installed here, unknown sources. This is my MRTK project, which was just deployed, and I have so far 6. So these are all Unity projects. I've been playing around with the Quest and they appear as unknown sources, and I have enabled unknown sources, so hopefully this will be the same for you. So now I'm going to actually click here, enable Oculus Link, and if you pay attention, you will see that everything looks a little bit more silver and less colorful, and this is the Rift S kind of like layout. So I just turned my Oculus Quest. It's technically still an Oculus Quest. It actually now shows more like hand models here. It's an Oculus Quest that is now running kind of like in Rift mode. And what this allows me to do now is I can just press play here, and this is coming back to my slideshow. So we've done this. We're now going to do that Quest USB cable Oculus Link. And when I have that, I can just press play here. And well, last time I did this, it was then emulating it on the desktop. But now I'm actually like really running it on the headset. You see the frames per second is much lower. I mean, it was 120 before. But it's running on the Quest. And I'm using the controllers. You can see that now. I can just, I didn't have to deploy it. But I also don't actually have, for some reason, did the button get stuck here? I don't know. Yeah, for some reason, sorry. So I can do the same as before. Can rotate, scale. Ta-da, I'm pretty happy with that. No teleportation area, so can't really land. I can also use my hands. 1 second, hands are coming. Ta-da! And can do this. Notice that I didn't actually deploy. I just like ran it in the editor, and let's say if you wanted to make a change, like changing the cube, an aspect of the cube, like let's say we're gonna change the material. You're like, okay, I don't like red. Let's go to the mesh renderer, change the material. I want this to be, we're gonna use the MRTK materials that they are optimized for Mixed Reality Toolkit, and then hopefully also for the Quest. We're just gonna make this a transparent purple. Okay, that's the thing I want. Okay, we just selected that. Cool. You would have to redeploy, like go here, build and run if you really wanted to run it on a Quest. But putting the Quest that is connected via USB into the Oculus Link enabled just allows me to just press play, and really I do not have to redeploy. I can just like run it again, and then yeah, my other controller still seems to be doing crazy things. Anyway, we're gonna enable the controllers. It's purple, and we could enable other things, obviously doing something more interesting, adding more content, changing things around without having to redeploy. I do think this is actually the recommended way, and but it is not the same as really developing for the Quest, because this is really just like running the Quest as an Oculus Rift S. So I'm going to go back to my side quest stream. I'm going to disable Oculus Link. I'm going to end the video roughly where it started. Not going to play Beat Saber. I'm going to disable Oculus Link, which is this button, and then press this to disable, and this UI looks very different, right? And right, so now I'm going to go back into Unity, and I am now back in this configuration. When I press play now, it will not run it on my headset. I'm moving my head right now, but it's not doing anything. It's actually back to like emulating it on the computer. I'm using my mouse now, WASD, bringing up this virtual hand, and there's another way to bring up another hand. Forgot what the other keys are. Maybe it says this somewhere. I saw it in the documentation. Anyway, just the left hand for now, and can also use the mouse wheel to move and drag. So this is just emulation again. Okay, so enable Oculus Link. Enable Oculus Link, then press play, runs it on your headset. Disable Oculus Link just runs it here in the browser, which is in the Unity game view, which is actually oftentimes it's fine for a lot of the adjustments you make. It's fine, like moving things around in the scene, whatever. But when it comes to implementing interactions, you really probably want to deploy to a Quest, where the interactions are a little bit more advanced compared to your Oculus Rift S, or at least have it the Quest run in this Oculus Link mode configuration, and then press play and run it really in VR with real controllers and not these weird ways of simulating things. So this is where my video ends. 35 minutes in. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope this works for you. Well, thanks for watching.